Hello traders, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to look at the Fibonacci tool, specifically the fib retracement tool, you guys. That's what I generally use. I won't be going over every way you can use the fib tool because there are multiple ways, and this video would literally be like 2 hours long. You guys know I don't like to do super long, boring videos. So I'm just going to give you a few of my main pointers on using it. And these pointers alone are going to really, really help you in your trading. Okay, so I'm going to give you the most important stuff. First of all, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I come out with videos every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I guess, yeah, we'll just get right into it. So when you plot the fib tool, it's going to usually be in this section that looks like this. No, the pitchfork. So it looks like a little pitchfork. It's actually called a pitchfork tool. So if you come down, you'll find the fib retracement tool. This is in TradingView, y'all. That's what I usually use, FYI. I like to keep the fib in my favorites, okay, just so I have it there. Now, when we click it, I'm just going to randomly plot it. Don't pay attention to where I plotted it. When you right click it, okay, and go to settings and go to style, all right, these are my coordinates that I use. These are going to be different when you first plot them in. When you first plot the tool. It doesn't come with the standard that I like to use. So these are the specific coordinates and like levels that I like to use. So if you want to just take a screenshot now, I've been rambling on enough that you've probably already had time to do it, but I also have this on my Instagram in my highlights. So if you don't get a chance to take a screenshot, then it's there as well. So just screenshot this. If you make it like all blue and red, it's really nice to look at. So that's just another tip for you. And then this will also be visible on your app, or on your app or your mobile device if you're just using it on Safari or whatever, as long as you're logged in. So make sure you're logged in before you do all this so that it saves. So getting into it, this is how I plot it. So we're looking at USD, the USD Canadian dollar. I know I use this one a lot, but it's because it respects zones really well. So it's kind of nice for showing you guys. So what I'm going to do is let's look at a trending section, if this will ever load. My goodness. Okay, so here we're on a downtrend, right? Like we can see that here we're on a downtrend. That's not a trend line, you guys. Some people give me a hard time for drawing those in. I'm just showing you, okay? So we're on a clear downtrend here. We're on the 4-hour chart. That's where I like to use the tool. Generally, that's where I will plot it. Sometimes I'll look at the daily zones, but generally I like the 4-hour chart because I'm a swing trader, okay? Let's take the tool. What we're going to do is, let's say we're at this area of the chart. So price is around here, okay? We're trending down. We want to look at our last move down, okay? Now, what does that mean? It means like a full move, not a section of a move. Like you want the move to complete and then start to consolidate a little. Okay. So for instance, like this would actually be a full move because what happens after? We get some consolidation. Do you see that? This actually would be a full move, and now we didn't get consolidation because the trend was over. Okay. But we'll just avoid that one for the timing. This here is going to be a full move because look at the bottom. We get that consolidation. The move is over, right? Now let's look. I'm going to remove all this just because it's going to get confusing if I keep drawing over and over. I want to show you an example of what would not be a move, okay? So let's look at this area here. From here to, let's say, here, okay? Because price did stop and pull back a bit. But is this a full move? No, because there's no consolidation, right? Price just pulled back a bit before continuing down. So that's how you know if it's a full move or not, all right? I'll give you one more example of a full move. And again, we're looking at the 4-hour, okay? This here is going to be a full move, look, because we get an area of consolidation, right? Now, Some people would consider from here to here a full move. I wouldn't, because that's not enough consolidation for me. You want like a good few bars, okay? Not 2 or 3. Now that we've gotten that down pat, don't get too hung up on that, okay? Because what's going to happen is if your fib doesn't line up, you just won't use it anyway. So we always use price action to confirm. So if you don't get too caught up in little details like that. Next, what we're going to do is on a downtrend, okay, we want to look at our last move down. We just went over how to find that. I don't include the long wicks. Okay, so these long wicks here, I do not include them. The reason being, long wicks are often associated with news, okay? And so they're not really indicating solid price action to me, okay? It's not what actually was happening overall. It's what happened in a few minute period because of something Trump said, or you know what I mean, right? So I don't include the wicks. That's my personal preference. Some people do. Totally fine if you choose to. It usually works out either way because we're working within areas, right? So what we're going to do is draw our move down after the move is completed, remember. So we're going to go to the very bottom of the down move, okay? The next thing we're going to box in, or the next thing we're going to do, my apologies, we want to look at the 50 to 61.8 fib level, okay? The 50 to 61.8 fib level. And we're going to box this level in, meaning we're going to take a rectangle, okay, just from the rectangle tool. We're going to double click on it. We're going to go to coordinates. We're going to extend it. And all we do to extend it is add a bunch of zeros with a negative in front of 1 and a bunch of zeros with no negative in front. And that just extends our rectangle. Now, you don't need to extend your rectangle. Some people won't. They'll just kind of haul it over as far as they want to. I like extending it the whole way so that I can go back and look at price action. Next thing I'm going to do is make sure that this fib level is at a zone. How do I do that? Well, I'm going to go back in time and look at if this area was respected before, meaning has price come up, touched it, and rejected? Or conversely, has price moved down towards it, turned around, and rejected? I'm seeing it being respected multiple times here. I'm sure you guys can see that. A little bit of slippage there where it broke through a bit. I can see here it was respected. I'm sure if we go back, we're going to see much more here. Almost came up to it. That's close enough for me. But as we can see, this area has definitely in the past been respected. Look right here. Price came down towards it, respecting it as a level of support. Okay. So we can see multiple times it's been respected. So I know this is a fib level, okay, that I want to use. So now we have a fib level. Based on this, a fib zone. Based on this fib zone, we can spot entries. So when price comes back up, okay, to touch this zone, we can look for rejection, which we did see there a little bit, and then we can sell and ride down, okay? This works better on some pairs than others. I'll tell you that right off the bat. Just like any method, there are pairs that respect certain strategies more than others. Few good pairs to use with this method are gold, the US dollar, Canadian dollar, and the Euro USD. Okay, so just so you know. Let me know if you try this method out, how you like this video, and if you want to see more on Fibonacci. I do try to keep everything as simple as possible, so I don't want to ramble on too much, but that in short is how I use it. It's pretty simple, right? And it would be the same thing if we were on an uptrend, but we would just do the complete opposite. Actually, before I head off, let me show you that really quick. So if we were on an uptrend, let me find a more clear uptrend though, you guys, just so we can find a really nice example. So let's look at a move up, okay, that's finished, all right? For instance, and sometimes this won't work out too, okay? That's another point I really do want to make. Sometimes this won't work out. Your fib zone won't line up, and that's fine. Like, these strategies don't always line up or work. You need to always use price action to confirm. Always, 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 always lead with price action, okay? This is just something I use to confirm entries. You'll hear me say that a lot, okay? But that being said, let's look at another example going up. So I can see here we had a move up. So I'm not including the wick, but I'm going to start from there because that's the first candle that kind of led to this little move up. And then what we're going to do is draw our rectangle between the 50, 61, 8. Now, when you're going up, you start from the bottom and the top. Okay, so start from the bottom, plot your one point, then drag it up to the top. Okay, opposite first sell, very simple stuff. Let's box in the 50 to 61, 8 level. So just like this, let's extend that rectangle. Okay, remove our fib because we don't need to look at it. It's not pretty. And go back, make sure price has respected this area. It has, shocker. And then what you're going to do is look for a buy. So this is our level, obviously. Look for rejection at the zone. We see rejection there. It did come down a little bit, but that's fine. It's just a bit of what we call slippage. And you enter a buy and ride up. And obviously, again, you have to wait for confirmation. Would I have entered on this candle? No, I would never enter based on this alone. I'd wait for this guy to start forming and then I'd ride on up to the next zone. Okay. And you can see that zone to zone, this would have played out beautifully, right? Because your stop would have been below this wick. You could have actually rode up to here, and that would have been a beautiful trade. That is all I have for you. I hope I didn't make this too long. If you liked this and you want to see more videos like this one, please like this video, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.